Hey friends, welcome back to another video. Will here, Orlando-based flight attendant. Hope you guys are doing wonderful. Today we're going to be talking about my June schedule. Now, before I dive into my schedule, you may be wondering what it takes to be a line holder and not be unreserved. Basically, what needs to happen is you need to be senior enough to fall under the number of projected line holders for the month. So hypothetically speaking, let's say that there are 500 flight attendants at this base, and out of the 500 the airline says, okay, so 400, no, that's too high, not realistically, out of the 500 flight attendants, 350 flight attendants are going to have lines, which means that they're going to have their own schedule, and then 150 flight attendants will be on reserve. If seniority wise, when you're bidding, your number falls under those 350, then that means that you're going to have a line. If you fall under the other 150, that means that you'll be on reserve. Essentially, once you find out if you're going to be a line holder, the next step for you is to bid for your schedule. There are many preferences that you can set when you're bidding for your schedule. Some of those preferences might be the length of the trip, the positions that you're flying, the days off that you want, if you want specific trips, pretty much anything you can think of as far as preferences to make your schedule perfect. Now, setting these preferences doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get everything. You're just setting what your ideal schedule will look like, but based on seniority, you are going to get awarded what your seniority holds. So for example, a couple of months ago, I would bid for trips and I would only get red-eye turns. Lately, I've been bidding for 2-day trips, and now I've been getting 3-day trips. Now, there are not the most productive trips, but for me, commuting is a lot easier if I have trips rather than turns. So I'm not mad about it. And you know, we do have ways to kind of like get rid of those not so productive trips and then kind of like pick up something else. But essentially, setting these preferences again doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get what you want. If you really like your schedule, then you keep it. If not, we have 2 different boards. I'm not going to dive into too much details, but just to give you an idea, like one of these boards, you can trade trips with another flight attendant, or you can put them there for someone else to pick them up. And then the other board, you can swap your trips, or you can drop them. The only way that you can drop a trip on that other board is if the reserve grid is green, and then you can swap your trips. Say that you have a 3-day San Diego that's worth 10 hours, but you find like San Juan 16-hour 3-day, then you can just swap one trip for the other. Now, one thing to also keep in mind is that everything is first come, first serve. So like if you see a trip and you put in a request for a swap, but someone else did it ahead of you, then that person's gonna get it. So it's a lot of it's a lot of moving pieces in order for you to be able to kind of like, you know, hustle a good schedule if you're not happy with what you get. I try to keep the majority of my trips, but if I want to work a lot of hours, then I kind of have to hustle the trade board, and then kind of like find better trips or swap it. And some days I just live on this trade board like it's a social media, because that's really the only way. You know, everyone's trying to like change your schedules and stuff. So, but yeah, now I'm gonna show you what my schedule looked like when I got it awarded. And then I'm also going to show you what my schedule looks like now, after I basically hustled the trade board. As you see here, all I had was San Francisco and San Diego all month, and then I had a San Juan red-eye turn. This schedule roughly had about 70 hours with like 12 days off. After I hustled the trade board for a couple of days, I was like, I'm going to work a whole bunch of hours and I'm going to do this whole crazy schedule. So I went to 112 hours with 8 days off, and this is what my schedule looked like. On this one, I had a Ponce turn, I had a Chicago 2-day, I had a Cancun turn, I had the trip I'm currently on, and then I had a San Diego, which I no longer have that San Diego after this trip. Then I had another turn, then I had San Francisco, San Diego, another turn, and then I had a 4-day trip at the end of the month. Or no, I had two 2-day trips at the end of the month. And so this is what I thought I was going to work. But then I was like, you know what, this is a lot. So then this is the schedule I ended up with. So now I'm at 95 hours with 12 days off. The first 9 days of the month I did not work. And right now I'm currently on this fake 4-day trip, which is Cincinnati. Tonight we go to San Juan. And then after this trip I go to Ontario. And then I do Cleveland, Denver, St. Louis. Then I do a San Diego. So if you saw, I swapped that San Diego for that Ontario. Got rid of San Francisco. And then I have that San Diego on the 22nd. I have a turn that I am trying to swap for something that has more credit. And then I no longer have that Islip St. Louis. Now I have San Juan, Raleigh, Durham, and Philly. So yeah, this is pretty much what my schedule looks like for this month. And honestly, you know, I think there's a huge stereotype with our jobs that flight attendants are always gone, that they always work a lot of hours, that they're never home. And the truth is, like, if we want to be gone all the time, yes, we can. Because as you guys saw, I went to like 8 days off with like 112 hours. But then I managed to have the first 9 days of the month off. And I didn't do anything other than like spend time with family and just like go to the beach and, you know, just do all these awesome things that they're not required work. I do love and enjoy the flexibility that I have and being able to just swap different trips and get out of trips that I potentially don't like. And if I don't find something super productive and I'd rather just stay, then I just do that. I'm just gonna keep my schedule the way it is. I think it works. I think it's perfect, even though I have a day off in between these trips. I have 24 hours, which is more than enough to rest and then just, you know, go on with my day. But yeah, and this is how you stay out of reserve, you know, putting in your time. This was a super short video, but I wanted to kind of just share my schedule with you guys because I feel like, number one, I have not done it in a long time. And number two, I think it's kind of cool to see like how it works, you know, compared to like a 9-to-5 job, which I did for so many years, and now that's not the case. So right now I am going to say goodbye. I have to go on with my life and this trip I'm currently on because it is 12:09 and I am actually leaving the hotel at 1 to continue on with my trip. We're going to San Juan tonight, and this vlog that I am filming right now, you guys will be able to see it next Sunday at 9 p.m. So please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications on, never miss a video. And then yeah, if you have any questions or any feedback or anything, go ahead and drop those in the comments. I'm going to see you next week. Take care.